This week on Court in Providence.
But the thing that really impresses me about your car, because this must be a very special car, is that you were able to do this with a broken hose. Imagine if that hose wasn't broken.
We would have never caught him.
He'd be going 110.
He would have been in Cranston, Judge, before we realized it.
And if I do a handstand, can I get a warning?
No. Before you say anything, I want you to listen to me for 1 minute.
He stole my truck, and I busted his with
Is
this.
he telling the truth? Case is dismissed. But you have certain rights.
Oh, wow. I know this.
Is there anything you wish to say? That light was red, and you went right through there. Have a big date or something? You're gonna get this if you keep it up, all right?
This is Court in Providence.
William Bannister. Good morning, sir. You want to get next to the mic so I can hear you? Yes, sir. Mr. Bannister, you're charged with speeding on Huntington Avenue. And it appears to me that you have an unblemished driving record. You're not becoming a hot rodder now, are you?
Pardon me?
So you're not going to become a hot rodder now after all these years of having a good record?
No, sir. No, sir. Your Honor, yes, I plead guilty to the charge, but I didn't know I was going that fast.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like it, but I guess I was, so I plead guilty. But I asked him for leniency on it because the same day I had trouble with my car too. I had to go and get a hose for my antifreeze. That we wouldn't hold no antifreeze.
You had to get a hose for the car?
Right, and I had to pay $100 for that, but I just paid $50, and I still owe him $50.
Yeah. But your first reaction was that you did not realize that you were going that fast, right? And you drive a Ford.
Yes, sir.
Now, unless those Fords drive so smoothly that you can't tell how fast you're going, you must have one of those luxury Fords. Speed limit was 25.
Right.
So you didn't realize that you were going more than 25. You thought you were only doing like 27, 28 miles an hour. You were doing 52 miles an hour. But how would you know that in a Ford, right, Inspector Quinn?
You know, it must
Well,
be
Your Honor,
one
sir.
of them luxury gliders.
Luxury glider. Oh, you
Well,
with
Your
the,
Honor,
you have
sir,
the,
like I say, I'm not the hour.
and you know what?
This man say I was doing,
But the
I'm
thing-
not the hour.
The thing that really impresses me about your car, because this must be a very special car, is that you were able to do this with a broken hose. Imagine if that hose wasn't broken.
We would have never caught him.
He'd be going 110.
He would have been in Cranston, Judge, before we realized it.
Well, you have a good driving record. So you qualify to have it dismissed on your good driving record. So we're going to dismiss it.
Thank you, sir.
Alyssa Cipriano. Alyssa, you're charged with speeding on the Henderson Bridge and South Angel Street.
The speed limit drops on the Henderson Bridge. It starts out at about 35, I think. I couldn't even find the speeding signs when I went by it again. And then it drops to 25 all of a sudden. I was following traffic during the time I was coming off of the Henderson Bridge. I travel the Henderson Bridge every day to and from work. So I always follow traffic. I never cut anyone off. I never go past anybody.
All right, hold on one second, please. See, what statute is reasonable in prudent speed?
Yeah, quite a bit of the people come in and they'll realize that it's Judge Caprio's day, and then they start putting it together two and two that the show's on, and then they start getting a little giddy, or they start going the other way where they start getting real nervous, and the excuse they were going to give now all of a sudden might not sound as good as they practiced on the way in.
The speed limit is 25. and you were charged with doing 30
Yes.
in a 25 limit. So the question that immediately arises to me is the statute of reasonable and prudent speed.
It drops from 35 to 25 over there, though. You know, the Henderson Bridge, on the Henderson Bridge, it's one speed limit. When you come off, it's another, so it goes from one to another, and mathematically, you have to hit that speed going from 35 to 25, you have to hit 30 in between, right? So I can't just go from 35 to 25 without hitting 30 in between. So as soon as you see the 25, you know, you got to slow down, but it takes time to get from, I don't know, that's how I see it.
Inspector Quinn,
Yes, Your Honor.
now, you know sometimes I have these extrasensory feelings, you know that, right? Now, did you hear that explanation?
Yes, I did.
But when you heard the explanation, were you watching Ms. Cipriano?
Yes, Your Honor.
You were,
Yes.
right? I would bet, I'm just thinking, I don't know, but I would think that I bet she's some kind of entertainer. Are you a dancer or something like that?
I used to be a professional dancer.
How do I know? How do I know? I can tell.
I was going to say it appeared to be rehearsed, so but that just that might come naturally to the professionals. I don't know, Judge.
I mean, no one would ever thank me for being graceful, you know, they would think.
I can do a handstand if I do a handstand. Can I get a warning?
Oh. You want to show us one of your moves?
Sure, what would...
You do. You can do a handstand. Let's see it. I thought you had a dress on. I'm sorry.
You want to see it?
Let's go.
Just another day in court.
Well, we usually we have a 2-minute threshold. You have to be able to do something for 2 minutes in order to get special consideration in this court. That was quite impressive.
I know, and I'm old now, so it's a little...
You are? So you did this professionally?
I did.
Yeah, where?
I did it for a company in Providence called Part of the Oath. It's a nonprofit organization. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Well, you're a
For
good
couple
sport.
years. Thank you.
To do that. At any rate, I'm familiar with the area. I know the bridge, you're doing 35, and no one does 35 on the bridge, they all do 40, I know that. But the fact that it's 30 and a 25, and that Henderson Bridge is almost like a super highway, so I'm going to dismiss it.
Thank you, Your Honor, so much. Thank you, thank you.
Next on Caught in Providence.
You know, I take full responsibility, you know, due to the drugs and the alcohol. You know, I put myself in a bad space, but where I'm at now, I'm working to fix my life, man, so I could be a productive member of society. You know, if the court would have some mercy on me, I would appreciate it.
There's much more Caught in Providence ahead. Looking for more Caught in Providence? Catch us on the Facebook, the Twitter, the YouTube, and the Instagram, and tell us what you think. This is Caught in Providence.
Mr. Lee, you're charged with speeding on Elmwood Avenue. Have you been driving for a period of 3 years
I do, yes.
in this country?
In this country, yes.
Okay. I guess your record indicates that you came to Rhode Island in the year 2000, so that's 16 years. I guess you've been here more than 3 years. Pursuant to the statute, the matter is dismissed on the good driving record.
Thank you, sir.
Henry Taylor. Mr. Taylor's charged with failure to move. There was a capias issued for his arrest because he failed to appear in court. Did he appear voluntarily this morning?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, then I'm going to vacate the capias.
Yes, Your Honor, the city would request that we do remove the capias. Mr. Taylor came in, I believe it was last week, had a chance to speak with the court. Your Honor, he is in patient treatment. He was unable to make the court date that day. He did go out of his way to come down to make an appointment with the court, at which time I advised him to come in today, speak with counsel, and we would rectify this matter before the court.
How does he plead, counsel?
Your Honor, we would move to continue it for 6 to 8 weeks.
No, excuse me. I plead guilty, Your Honor.
Get in front of the mic.
Excuse me. Your Honor, I'm guilty of what happened. You know, I take full responsibility, you know, due to the drugs and the alcohol. You know, I put myself in a bad space, but where I'm at now, I'm working to fix my life, man, so I could be a productive member of society. And if the court would have some mercy on me, I would appreciate it.
What are you doing to turn your life around?
I'm in sobriety. I'm in the Providence Center Road to Recovery.
The judge appreciates honesty. It's going to go a long way for this guy.
Okay, we have a letter from the Providence Center saying that indeed that you are seeking help there, and that you're doing pretty well from what I can read here. Inspector Quinn, do you want to be heard on this?
He does have the documents here that were presented by Mr. Taylor to the court, that he is in recovery and he is attempting to turn that corner.
Okay. Are you suggesting we not dispose of this matter today, Inspector Quinn?
Yes, Your Honor. The city would ask a 6-week continuance, just to allow counsel to sit with Mr. Taylor and just to make sure that Mr. Taylor is continuing with any follow-up, if there is any, or if not, just to see that he is maintaining the peace and being in good behavior.
Okay. Mr. Taylor, we've taken the position in this court, Inspector Quinn has always recommended that we give everyone a chance, particularly those who express a strong desire to turn their lives around. We understand that some people, you know, have problems, and it's, the old saying is, it's not really a sin to get knocked down, or a shame, but the sin is not getting back up. So you're making an attempt to get back up, and we want to help you in that pursuit.
Absolutely.
Right? And we applaud you, and we encourage you, and we'll be rooting for you as well. So we're going to give you an opportunity to come back. I'm going to continue with 6 weeks. You can show us that you're on that road. I'll dismiss it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next, on Caught in Providence.
How many drinks did you have that night?
I was a little tipsy for sure, and that played a role.
I knew that as soon as I read the report. Making phone calls to your ex-girlfriend?
My ex-girlfriend, yeah, because my son was sick.
Yeah, but what's that got to do with you not having the lights on?
There's more straight ahead. Now back to the judge and Caught in Providence.
Joseph Stocky.
Hello, good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir. Mr. Stocky, you are charged with disorderly conduct.
Yes, sir.
Now, I want you to know that you have the right to be represented by an attorney. You have the presumption of innocence. You have the right to have the city prove each and every allegation beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to present witnesses on your own behalf, and you have the right to cross-examine witnesses who may testify against you. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And you have the right against self-incrimination, which means you don't have to say anything. Do you understand that?
Yes, I understand, sir.
Okay. Can you afford an attorney?
I can afford an attorney.
I notice, sir, you are not from Rhode Island?
That's correct, sir.
All right. And do you work here?
I was hired to DJ at Lupo's for a night.
Okay. First of all, I can tell you that you are not in jeopardy of going to jail. I read the report, and I'm going to read the report so that you will understand what the police allege happened, and then you can tell me. if you want to. Now, you have the right to have an attorney with you, and ordinarily, I would not engage in a discourse with anyone if there was any chance of them going to jail. There's no chance of you going to jail on this matter. So there is a chance that I could dismiss it or do something less than jail, which I'm going to do. But I'm going to tell you what the police say, okay?
Okay.
The police were on detail at about 2 o'clock in the morning at Lupo's nightclub, and a Joseph Stocky was kicked out of the nightclub for attempting to fight a bouncer. Once he removed from the nightclub, he became increasingly aggressive toward police. He was ordered to leave the area several times, at which time he replied, Mr. Stocky began screaming and threatening police as well as nightclub employees. He raised his voice several times in an attempt to gather a crowd. Police ordered Stocky to vacate the area once again, at which time he screamed. At this time, he was placed in custody, charged with disorderly conduct.
This guy had some super alcoholic muscles. I hope he enjoyed the accommodations.
Now, is there anything you want to say about that? You understand you have the right against self-incrimination. You don't have to say anything. You understand?
No, I'd like to say something on my behalf.
I mean, now speak loudly and slowly so I hear you.
Okay, so I was DJing at Lupo's. I drove 8 hours to DJ, and it was last call. So I went to the bar, and I tried to get 2 females a drink that I was there with, and the bartender told me, no, it's last call. I'm not, like, serving any more drinks. So I walked to the other side of the club, because there was 2 bars in the club, and I asked that bartender for drinks, and he said, sure. But the other bartender came over to the other side of the bar, and he said, no, I already told this kid he can't have any drinks. So I was like, what's the problem? And he was like, get him out of here. And they throw me out. And then I tried to get back into the establishment so I could talk to the promoter so I could get paid for my DJ services, but everyone wanted me off the property. And then I did have an infantile reaction to the situation.
Oh, you were the DJ?
Yes.
Oh, did you ever get paid?
No.
To this day, you still haven't been paid?
No.
Huh. How many drinks did you have that night?
I was a little tipsy for sure, and that played a role.
I knew that as soon as I read the report. We have what we call alcoholic muscles down here.
Yes.
I read the report, I looked at you, and I read the report, and it said that Mr. Stocky wanted to fight one of the bouncers. It's been my experience, the bouncers are always, you know, they're over 6 feet, they're muscular, right? And you wanted to fight the bouncer. I'm not sure.
Go well.
If you got a good left hook, I'm not sure, right? But I don't think that was a good idea.
No.
What do you think, Inspector Quinn?
It was not a good idea.
Was the bouncer bigger than Inspector Quinn?
About the same size.
Yeah. You think you can take him?
Well, who knows, Judge? Judge, now who knows? I don't know.
He's not sure whether he can take you, Inspector Quinn.
I'm not sure either, Judge.
No?
Willing to give it a try, but I'm not sure.
No, I don't suggest that.
I'll opt out of that. I learned my lesson last time.
Inspector Quinn, you must have a recommendation on this matter.
I do, Your Honor. Based on no previous history with police, the one charge he did have was dismissed with prejudice. The city will offer a 6-month filing with a $35 court cost on a NOLO plea, or naturally he can come back for trial.
Inspector Quinn, I would say that 99% of the time that I accept your recommendation, and usually we're on the same wavelength, but I think given the circumstances of this case, he was working there. He didn't threaten anybody. Nobody was placed in any danger. It was all verbal. He just ran his mouth. He had a few drinks and he ran his mouth. And while words alone don't constitute an assault, they don't constitute an offense, even though words may be offensive, they really don't constitute an offense. So he didn't get paid. He got banged around. He spent the night in jail. I think you've been punished enough.
Thank you, Your Honor.
There's more straight ahead.
Making phone calls to your ex-girlfriend?
My ex-girlfriend, yeah, because my son was sick.
Yeah, but what's that got to do with you not having the lights on?
There's a whole lot more right around the bend. You are watching Caught in Providence.
Okay, Martin Acosta.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Acosta. You have two charges, operating left of center and improper display of lighted lamps. Your lights were out?
Yeah, I was getting phone call from my ex-girlfriend because my son was sick.
You were making phone calls to your ex-girlfriend?
My ex-girlfriend, yeah, because my son was sick.
On the list of the most ridiculous excuses on the planet.
Yeah, but what's that got to do with you not having the lights on?
I was, a little hurry, and I was on the salon, and that's why they pulled me over.
You were in a hurry. It was 1:15 in the morning on Prairie Avenue.
Yeah, because I got
I think right away the police officers see that, they get other ideas. Would you think? Well, that's the bad news. The good news is that you have a good driving record. Right? You haven't had any problems, got nothing here at all. So on the good driving record, the matter is going to be dismissed.
Thank you.
Miguel Alvarado. Now, first of all, I'm going to tell you, the police say that evidently they drove you back to your house. They walked into the residence and located you. You were packing your clothes and your shoes. Police had asked you how you got back to the residence from Waverly Street, where police had transported you earlier in the night. Then, according to the report, you said, "How do you think?" I'm just reading the report in a very arrogant way. Police then instructed Mr. Alvarado to get his stuff, and it was time to leave the residence. Alvarado said, "Don't rush me, yo, I'll leave when I'm damn ready to."
When you disrespect the policemen that are sworn to protect you, that's where the judge draws the line.
Speaking to police, Alvarado finally agreed and walked out of the residence and was asked if he had any keys on him, and he said no, and then the police officers take your shoes off. They thought he may have had the key in the shoes, and that didn't go too well. Conversation ensued between both police and you, and finally police said, "If you don't leave, we're going to arrest you for failure to move," and you wouldn't leave. So you were charged with failure to move. I'm going to plead you not guilty, sir. I'm going to set it down for trial.
Okay.
Judge Caprio, you are the man. Hi, I think Judge Caprio does a great job. He's very kind to the people, and I think he's doing a great job. Keep it up, Judge. Thanks, bye. My husband and I watch your show every week, Judge Caprio, and you are a compassionate man. And for those of you out there who think the judge is too lenient, believe me, the man's been on the bench for years. He's got the keen sense of ability to determine who's truthful and who's not. He's been there, believe me.
I'm Frank O'Donnell. Tune in next week. And until then, don't get caught in Providence.